Have you ever taken a minute to halt in the midst of your hectic day and questioned yourself? Is there a love that is so profound and so unbreakable that nothing I've ever done could push it away? Allow this question to reverberate in your heart for a while and allow it to create a quiet space inside you, a place where hope may take root and faith can flourish. I see you as you are, and I have loved you before your very first breath. I continue to love you in every second that follows, regardless of how far you believe you drifted, regardless of how unworthy you might feel. There is a blossom. I speak to you now in that silent chamber of your soul, offering words of warmth, promise, and renewal. I see you as you are, a place where you belong, a sanctuary that is waiting for you. And if you give these words some time to sink in, you will feel a gentle stirring, a reminder that I have never left and I will never leave. And so I begin this lengthy journey of words by inviting you to rest, to discover, and to believe once more in a future that is filled with hope. I want to speak to your heart in the same way that sunshine washes over a new morning, gentle and beautiful and full of promise. Perhaps you feel as though you have strayed too far, tripped too often, or lost yourself in the clamor of life's disappointments. Yet even in the depths of your heart, you have found yourself all over again. There has always been a part of you that has always felt my love like a little light flickering in the distance. There have been moments when you have attempted to extinguish that light, believing that you are worthless or that I could not possibly care for someone who has made so many errors. But I want to reassure you, I am here for you. Whisper of love, soothing warmth deep inside is not an accident. Genuine. It has always been real, and it is calling you back to the place where you are beloved beyond measure. You may wonder how I can be loved if I have failed so many times, or if I have failed so many times. I see your heart, the gentle longing you have to find solace and acceptance, and I have seen every tear that you have shed. I feel so shattered. How can I possibly return to a love that wants perfection? Let me explain gently. I do not demand perfection. I see your heart. I was there by your side, protecting your steps and tenderly waiting for the ideal moment to speak to you in a manner that your heart could receive. Even when you were certain that you had no faith, you were still reaching out to me. I was there for you through every heartache, every moment of doubt, and even during moments when you felt I was missing. There's something that is more powerful than yourself, and I heard you. I see beyond what you consider to be your limitations. I see the secret talents that lie within you, the limitless potential for kindness, compassion, and rejuvenation. There is no distance that is too great, and there is no mistake that is too large to take away from the love that I have for you. Your perplexity may seem like a fog that obscures your ability to make decisions, and it can cause you to question both your value and your path. When this happens, it is natural to doubt whether I have actually heard your cries. You asked for changes, and you prayed for them, rescuing, but your life did not seem to change instantaneously. Those you trusted abandoned you. Events did not fit your dreams, and your heart was left feeling wounded and doubting. But I want to remind you of something very important that I do. You look back carefully, you will remember instances when grace broke through your sadness, a friend who provided support exactly when you felt most alone, and that unexpected feeling of peace flowing over you after a sleepless night. Answer, all of these questions at the proper time. Night, when you lay your head down on the pillow, prepare your heart for something beautiful. If you open your soul to believe once again, you may discover your heart is prepared for something beautiful. Each of those occurrences was not an accident. They were the gentle footprints of my presence bringing you to a deeper awareness and hope. Your heart will be prepared for something lovely. It is possible that you may find yourself standing next to a river that is so clear that it mirrors your actual essence. You will notice that each ripple is taking away your anxieties, anger, and regret. Dreams become a portal, a place where the problems that hold you down begin to disappear. You will feel the coolness of the water on your feet, but you will also experience warmth in your heart as every worry and fear is gently washed away when dawn arrives. In that serene area, you will see me hold out my arms and welcome you to belonging that reflect your spirit. You will feel the chill of the water on your feet. You still remember those steps of faith. Wake up feeling lighter, as if a big burden has been lifted off your back. This release is my gift to anyone who dares to believe again, even if it is only for a moment. When the sun rays of tomorrow begin to filter into your room, take a slow, deep breath and ask yourself, could today be the beginning of my fresh start? And see how your heart will quietly nod in agreement if you allow hope to reside inside you. In that simple act of opening your eyes to the sun, you will discover that I have been working through the night to heal hidden wounds and reordering things, results, and preparing blessings that are waiting for you. This is the reward for those who accept their faults, but refuse to give up on the power of faith. It is the promise for those who choose to believe that regardless of how difficult the road that lies behind them is, there is a path that lies ahead of them. You do not need to roam from place to place looking for validation or good words from numerous voices. You can stand still and open your heart right now, and I will be more than enough. My presence is continuous, a limitless love that envelops your soul. You do not need to wander from place to place looking for validation or kind words from countless voices. You will find that emptiness replaced by a gentle sense of purpose when the nighttime arrives again. Your sleep will be peaceful and secure in the knowledge that I guard you like a strong protective home. And when you dream, I will meet you there, showing you that I am there. If you are able to receive it, if you are able to let your heart accept the truth of how deeply you are cared for, you will find that emptiness replaced by a gentle sense of purpose. You have carried sadness, disappointment, and a sense of frustration on your back day after day. These weights have prevented you from seeing beyond your current struggle. They have made you believe that you deserve nothing better than your current struggle. They have given you glimpses of the wonders that await a soul that is willing to trust. That life must continue to be a cycle of the same mistakes and regrets. But I come now to remove those heavy burdens. If you allow me, I will free your shoulders from the oppressive thoughts that keep you bent low. You will walk upright, feeling the warmth of a renewed spirit coursing through your veins. You will realize that your past does not define you, not need to define your future. Your identity is defined by something that is far more significant than your mistakes, by a love that persists even when you doubt it. Most likely you once had faith, but found that you depended on turned away, shattered trust can be painful. It can make you rethink everything you thought you knew about yourself. As for whether or not faith is something that is worth clinging to, however, real faith does not depend on the approval or allegiance of other people. Rather, it is founded on something that is far more stable. If your faith seems like a little candlelight flickering in the midst of a storm, you should know this. Even the tiniest spark may shine brightly in complete darkness. You are encouraged to reignite what has been faint and fan it into a dazzling fire, with the exception of your own shortcomings. However, you must also acknowledge that I am able to restore and repair what is damaged that you have. You may have looked for warmth in places that offered only illusions. You may have sought attention and comfort in arms that were not made to hold your precious spirit. And these are all examples of situations in which faith, once revived, will become a beacon shining not only for you, but also for those around you who have also stumbled in the shadows. If you choose to continue ahead with my leadership, you will no longer need false refuges, because you will discover a love that never exhausts itself here in this safe harbor. Pursuits may have left you feeling more empty than you did before, but here in this safe harbor, you will find a love that never exhausts itself. Learn to stand with quiet confidence, no longer dependent on empty words or harmful attachments, negative influences, toxic habits, and those who belittle your worth will have no power over you, because your heart will be anchored in something unshakable. It's time to let go of the old ways that have kept you bound, just as one removes garments. Think of your heart being cleaned, made soft and fresh, and rid yourself of bitterness, fury, and self-condemnation. This transformation will not come about by simple willpower, but rather through embracing my compassion and my desire to walk with you while you are going through difficult times. Awakened each day, you will experience a fresh perspective. Even the sunbeams that stream in through your windows may look brighter, as if the whole world is reflecting the brightness of your soul. Let this renewal motivate you to treat yourself with compassion too. Smile. You could have labels that the world has put upon you, such as failure, disappointment, or lost cause. But when you see your mirror and understand that you are more than your previous errors in this intimate connection that we have, I know you more intimately than you know yourself. You will recognize that you are more than those experiences. I have a particular name for you, one that speaks of promise and unchanging love. If you calm the turmoil that is going on inside of you, you may hear me utter that name gently, frequently in the early morning when your mind is still at rest. That gentle call is a reminder that I have a special name for you, that you are a part of a love that is bigger than any restriction. Embrace this truth, because it is inside it that you will discover the strength to stand strong against everything that tries to take your pleasure. You are standing on the brink of a time that is full with change. Not all change is positive. Simple and others may come wrapped in obstacles that tax your patience. But with each sunrise, I equip you with everything you need by providing you with strength, knowledge, and resilience. If new conflicts or trials occur, do not be concerned. Rise to face them, knowing that you are never alone in the world. Struggle. There are hidden gifts in every problem, lessons that mold your character and lead you toward greater wholeness. Believe that every Every obstacle can be changed into a route. Every stumbling stone may be transformed into a step forward. If you go ahead with faith, proceed at a pace that is appropriate for you. In a culture that encourages you to race to grasp everything right now, I suggest a more relaxed approach. Take life one day at a time. You do not have to rush or scramble in desperation for success or approval. Let each day become an opportunity to make choices that respect both your ambitions and your need for rest. Chance to learn how to sow seeds of kindness and to nurture the relationships that mean the most. With this careful and continuous effort, you will discover the beauty of slow development. Like a fragile plant turning toward the light, your heart will seek for hope, and it will thrive gradually under my attentive eye. On some days, you will plant the seed with laughter and pleasure, pleased by the sunlight above, while on other days, tears may flood the soil as grief alters your life. Carefully consider each choice, each kind word, and each selfless deed as a seed that you plant in fertile ground. In spite of the feelings that accompany your stitching, keep in mind that a harvest is promised, that your patience will not be in vain, that the seeds will sprout into blessings, that opportunities will arrive, that solutions will become evident, and that your heart will be transformed into something more compassionate. It is one of the greatest gifts you can offer yourself to commit the future into my hands. You do not need to bear the weight of worry about tomorrow, overthink and overplanning, and you will find that your heart will overflow with thankfulness for the progress that you observe. Your current delight will be diminished if you attempt to exert control over every eventuality. Instead, you should place those worries at my feet and acknowledge that I understand the wider picture. I will weave solutions and blessings in ways that you cannot yet envision. By letting go, you will liberate your heart to appreciate the beauty of the world. Today, you find a tranquil reliance on the constant promise that things may and will work out for your benefit in my perfect time in your search for purpose. Do not forget the loved ones I have put in your life, whether they are family members, friends, or acquaintances. Family and close friends are treasures that are meant to remind you that you are not alone. Let go of resentment or a sense of isolation. No matter how self-sufficient you are, everyone needs a reassuring presence, a helping hand, and companionship through the seasons of life. Listen to them, value their words, and share your heart with them while at the same time maintaining your resilience. Upon my unflinching devotion, people are gifts. However, the foundation of your soul must rest on a love that never fails. It is simple to be impressed by those who appear to be financially successful on the surface, or to look down on those who appear to have nothing. But it is important to keep in mind that appearances can be deceiving, and that some people who dress in finery are actually struggling to make ends meet. Look beyond what your eyes perceive, practice humility, and recognize that your personal value does not depend on riches or rank. When you encounter strangers on the path of life, be open-hearted, and you may find treasures of peace and wisdom beyond measure, while others dressed simply have treasures of peace and wisdom beyond measure. You should always be open to receiving messengers of light who arrive clothed in the most humble garb. You should never allow pride to blind you to the hidden beauty that exists in other people. There will be days when discouragement will knock on the door, and you will feel inclined to disbelieve everything that I have said. That is the time when you need to cling to the truth that I tell. Let my assurances become a live force inside you, supporting your hope. Write them down if you have to repeat them softly when you are feeling alone. Let them serve as an anchor in the storm. My message is not difficult. It is simple. Built on a foundation of love and redemption, if you cling to it with faith, you will witness changes that defy human logic. It will be a sign of the power that rests in sincere belief. Think about the important choices you are facing at this stage of your life. You want to make them carefully, making sure that they bring you closer to the truth. You can get closer to the life you want by seeking my advice, taking a minute every morning to calm your thoughts and reading from the words that offer clarity and light, reflecting before acting, weighing the various consequences, and asking for my wisdom to enlighten the way as you approach. In this way, by making choices that are peaceful, prayerful, and deliberate, you welcome blessings into every step that you take. If you fail, do not give up hope. Keep going, because even your mistakes may turn into great lessons that shape you into someone who is stronger and wiser in a society that places a high value on riches and fame and power. You might be concerned about your social standing or your financial security. But I tell you that there is a treasure that is more valuable than all of these combined, a heart at peace. When you live in alignment with compassion, grace, and a recognition of your worth, your heart becomes light. Anxiety and fear lose their grip, and your heart comes at peace. This tranquility, this feeling of established assurance, is like a fortress for your mind and soul. It shields you from concern, from a relentless pursuit that never stops. You are unshakable in your identity, and you are not disturbed by the unpredicted and unexpected winds of the world. Hold on to this treasure and share it with those around you, allowing its glow to guide them toward something more enduring than fleeting success. Your heart is precious, shaped by challenges, refined by trials, and illuminated by those moments where you have shown kindness instead of anger. You want to share this treasure with those around you. May not always perceive your own progress, but I do, and I am here to remind you that it is your humility, your desire to serve others, and your openness to learning that make you a great person. Arrogance destroys relationships and prevents knowledge from being gained. Humility, on the other hand, is the stance that keeps you humble. Being teachable and having a kind heart does not imply that you should think less of yourself. Rather, it means that you should realize that every single person, including yourself, contains a divine imprint that is worthy of love and respect. One of the most challenging things you could struggle with is the idea that you should be humble. Holding on to grudges and bitterness is like swallowing poison while expecting that someone else would suffer. All it accomplishes is destroy your own heart. Let me help you let go of that. Forgiveness also includes extending it to those who have wronged you and giving it to yourself. However, forgiveness is vital for your liberation. You will feel an enormous weight lift, your thoughts will clear, and room will open up in your heart for new joy, even if it may not come. Resentment, to set yourself free from the bonds that unforgiveness binds around your soul. As you learn to forgive, you will feel an unbelievable weight lift. The process of letting go may need repeated choices, but each step you take toward forgiveness is a step toward deeper healing. When you look in the mirror, you should not look at yourself with the eyes of judgment, but rather with the eyes of love. You are not defined by the mistakes you made yesterday or by the unpleasant things that have happened in the past. Labels that others have placed on you, you possess an inner beauty that shines through in the way that you speak, the way that you care for other people, and the way that you rise up after each fall. Even the smallest acts of empathy shine a brilliant light, and this beauty is reflected in your smile, in your kindness, in the way that you carry yourself with gentleness. Through these acts of nurturing, you reflect a heart that is determined to bring in calm and upliftment wherever you go, even if this is your first time actually experiencing it. If you encourage this kindness to overflow in every aspect of your life, including your career, your relationships, and even the care you provide to your house, you will be able to do this. As you listen to these words of welcome, you may find yourself wondering how you can put your faith in a love that you cannot see with your own eyes. Take a look at the silent witnesses in your own life, moments of hope that you formerly considered to be a coincidence, answered prayers, or even the spark of potential when life appeared to be at its darkest. In each of these, you will find evidence that you are not alone. Each of these is evidence that the intangible may be the most real thing you will ever experience. Allow your curiosity to guide you to a more profound quest. Open your heart every day, even if it is just for a few seconds, so that you can feel my presence. Over time, the intangible will become more concrete. Faith will seem as natural as breathing, and you will become a friend who is comfortable to you. Growth is not something that occurs all at once. A seed does not become a tall tree overnight. Just as a seed needs soil, water, and sunshine, you too need caring for your soul. Stillness, listen to words of truth that deepen your faith, and a community that is supportive to cheer you on are both things you should anticipate. Even the tallest trees have storms, but with each storm, their roots grow deeper in the same manner. Embrace the process with patience and believe that each day you are coming closer to who you were created to be in your mind. You carry so many anxieties about income, relationships, health, and other aspects of your life. Your challenges have the potential to expand your character. Imagine if you could gently place those anxieties into my hands and image yourself letting go of every anxiety and feeling a flood of serenity wash over your body. This is not escapism. Rather, it is an acknowledgement that certain things are beyond your control. The unpredictable nature of the future, think, if you could do that. Never beyond. Whenever worry creeps in, shut your eyes for a minute and remind yourself that you have a place to go, a shelter where your worries may be lifted. This act of surrender offers a portal for new thoughts, solutions, and possibilities enter your life. Unpleasant situations may still be present in your life. When the darkness knocks, remember that the slightest spark of light may shatter it. Your spark is your decision to think that hardship is something that you can overcome. Loss, disappointment, and doubt can appear without warning, but they do not have the ultimate word. It is transitory because every tunnel has a light at its end. Do not let despair to persuade you that this is the end of your path. Instead, regard problems as stepping stones, with each one being an opportunity to find a stronger and more resilient version of yourself, and constantly recognize that I am a friend who will never leave you in the shadows. Your house, regardless of how big or little it is, may be a haven of peace by clearing away any disorder that prevents peace and allowing love to become the primary theme in every space. If you strive to offer words of encouragement often and place reminders of thankfulness in places where you can see them on a daily basis, you will be able to feed the connections that exist within your family, pray for each other, and boost each other up. Additionally, you will discover that if you stay patient throughout times of stress, your household will flourish. Changes becomes a safe haven not just for you, but also for everyone who enters it. It becomes a place where compassion welcomes every guest, and where my serenity rests like a warm blanket at the end of a hard day. There are some people who have attempted to persuade you that you are under a curse or that someone is trying to harm you. Forces are planning your doom. Such words fueled by superstition or malice may grasp your heart with unwarranted dread. Let me tell you that no curse or dark power can stand against a heart that is linked with my love and truth when you live with integrity and faith. No negative thoughts have the potential to acquire a lasting grip on your spirit. Let go of dread and remain steadfast in the knowledge that your soul is safeguarded by a promise that has endured the test of time. You are protected and valued beyond measure. When you are experiencing moments of doubt, go back and remember those times when you were able to overcome your fears. Think of the remarkable alignments that happened, such as a phone call from someone exactly when you needed encouragement, an unexpected job offer when your finances were desperate, or a sudden rush of inspiration that led you to a breakthrough. These are all examples of people who have faced apparently insurmountable difficulties and yet managed to find a way to overcome them. You had not seen this answer before. These were not coincidences. They were indications that my hand was quietly organizing positive things in your life. Allow these recollections to act as reminders that if it occurred once, it may happen again. Again, do not let the voice of doubt erase what you have already seen. You may feel unworthy of tremendous benefits, and you may wonder why I am receiving them. However, I ask you why you are not receiving them. I want to offer you wonderful gifts, not just material necessities. On the other hand, gifts of interchange may rebuild relationships and provide a sense of purpose. It is important to embrace each gift with humility and thankfulness, constantly keeping in mind that blessings are best used to assist others. The more you share, more space there is for you to contribute. You create in your own heart more fresh joy. Generosity multiplies benefits, turning them into rivers of happiness that pour into many lives. One hurdle to receiving deeper blessings is the habit of negative thinking or expressing complaints, resentments, and other kinds of unpleasant emotions. Dismal imaginations have the potential to build a heavy cloud over your life. This cloud may obscure your hope and sap your energy. If you want to break away from this pattern, you can acknowledge each negative thought as it occurs and gently replace it with a phrase that says, I believe that good things are possible. Otherwise, I have confidence that a more favorable answer is on its way to you. Over the course of time, you will cultivate a new climate inside yourself, one that is filled with anticipation and optimism. This positive change welcomes the growth of faith and the coming of more benefits. Family relationships may be strengthened. The people you love the most may cause you to experience both enormous pleasure and profound agony. They have the ability to hurt you in ways that strangers could never do. Despite this, these people occupy a special position in your life. Your care for them is not forgotten, and you cannot neglect them. You cannot compel people to change or believe in the same way that you cannot force a seed to grow by tugging on it. However, you can pray for them, talk nicely to them, and model a steady faith over time. Hearts that seem to be barren soil may transform into something that is rich and full of grace. Do not give up on the people you love. Continuing in compassion while keeping healthy boundaries may open doors for reconciliation and trust. Sometimes, love also means letting go. If your children or family members take pathways that are different from yours, it may load your heart with anxiety. But you should not give up on them. Remember that they, too, are required to learn and find their own path. Put away the need to control every result and instead leave them in my care. Stop struggling with feelings of guilt or the idea that you have failed as a parent, sibling, or child. Each soul has a journey. Pray faithfully. For your loved ones, be prepared to assist them whenever they really seek it, and have faith that I am working in their lives just as I have worked in yours. This release may initially feel like a leap into the unknown, but in the end, it will lead to a more profound sense of peace for everyone. As a component of loving other people, you should respect their autonomy and expect them to respect yours in return. It is not cruel to create limits that safeguard your own well-being. If some connections bring you continual hurt or manipulation, you should withdraw yourself from them. You are permitted to defend your emotional and mental space and to say no to circumstances that suffocate your serenity. This does not contradict compassion. Rather, it acknowledges the healthy structure that every connection requires. You are allowed to say no to situations that suffocate your calm. Maintain an attitude of openness while protecting your heart from being crushed over and over again. Your children may try your patience by testing limits that you believed were unbreakable. Teens may test your patience by determining how to engage with individuals who repeatedly select destructive habits. Seek wisdom in deciding how to interact with those who choose harmful behaviors. Remember that no kid is without hope. Remember your own past. How many times have you wandered off the road, yet here you are drawing back by love that has forgiven you? Rebel, although older children could make choices that conflict with your ideals. Bear in mind that no child is beyond hope. Given an infinite number of opportunities, provide the same grace to them. Set consequences with love. Confront detrimental decisions in a strong but loving manner, and ground your faith in the awareness that your prayers can reach areas that your words cannot after a lifetime of attempting to manage everything. When you are feeling overwhelmed, halt and say, I cannot do this alone. Please help me. This kind of honesty is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it is a sign of strength. On your own, you could be fatigued. It is reasonable that you were not designed to carry every weight by yourself. Through this courageous act of surrender, you pave the way for remarkable breakthroughs. You start to see solutions that you had never noticed before. You find supportive friendships that you didn't realize you had. You find a sense of calm that surpasses your previous anxieties. Little by little, you learn to let go of your fears. That depending on me does not render you helpless. Rather, it enhances your life by providing you with an invisible but unbreakable support. Life can deal you unexpected blows such as illness, financial crisis, heartbreak, or the loss of someone dear to you. In these valleys, it is natural to feel defeated, to question your faith, or to question your ability to move forward. Lament the injustice, but find solace in this pain even when it is not sharp. Eternal healing is real, and every wound has the potential to become a place where empathy and compassion blossom. Your suffering may open your eyes to the struggles that others are going through, and it may inspire you to want to help them. In doing so, you convert sorrow into a force for unity and understanding. Have you ever thought about the power of getting up each day? Each sunrise is a second opportunity, a new start. Is it possible to reach out to be there for someone else and to establish a community of love that brings people together in their trials? CH errors that once haunted you do not have to define your future. You are free to start anew, to approach life with a clear perspective when remorse starts to pull at your heart. Remember yourself that today is a new day. Page waiting for you to write a new chapter. CH mistakes that once plagued you. If I have the ability to make decisions that bring me closer to love and forgiveness, over the course of time, you may look back and see how these modest daily resets have led to monumental change. You will understand that second chances are not just an occasional miracle, they are available to you every single day. You should not let this discourage you, because the path to a better future is not determined by the opinions of onlookers. Morning, as you change, not everyone will understand or support your journey. Some people may mock your shift toward hope and faith, belittling it as a phase or questioning your sincerity. Do not let this discourage you. Continue walking, firmly rooted in the realization that your transformation is genuine and founded on love and perseverance. Your life will change over time, and it will speak louder than any words of skepticism. Your patience, kindness, and unwavering peace will serve as the most powerful testimony to the remarkable work that is taking place within you. Longing for change without taking actionable steps will leave you in the same place. Let these words inspire you to do something different today, whether it's a small act of kindness for a neighbor, a heartfelt apology to someone you hurt, or a sincere apology to someone you have hurt. You have heard many words of encouragement and guidance, and it is time to put them into action. Make a commitment to set aside some peaceful time for introspection. Do not allow procrastination to prevent you from making progress. Even a little step may be important if it is done with sincerity. Begin now and keep going, knowing that every decision you make in faith will get you closer to your goals. Will be greeted with my steadfast support. It is easy to forget our talk when life's hustle rushes in. That is why it is vital to build a habit of regular connection. Set aside a few minutes each morning or evening to sit in stillness, reflect on your day, and welcome my participation in your life. Regular connection enhances your capacity to remain rooted. When storms come, it reminds you that you are never alone and that there is a greater story. Presence includes reading words of truth that elevate your heart, singing a song of praise, or simply meditating on the promise of love that surrounds you. I see your abilities and your aspirations, the components of your personality that make you unique. Sometimes you question if there is a meaningful purpose for your life. Allow me to comfort you that there is. I view your life as a narrative of redemption, progress, and continuous grace. There are endeavors and relationships in which only you can shine in a distinctive manner due to the fact that you do search for signals of alignment, moments in which your talents match the needs of others around you and your heart comes alive. Without a doubt, your mix of capabilities, interests, and experiences was not produced haphazardly. Whether it be via compassion or creativity, that feeling of contentment is a sign that you are heading in the direction of your calling. Follow it with bravery, knowing that I am directing your feet. And you may be amazed at how your journey is full of mistakes, failures, and wins. Sharing your story of stumbling and rising may seem to be vulnerable. It may be a tremendous light for someone who feels alone in their troubles. Authenticity has a magnetic energy that breaks walls and can inspire another soul who is in darkness at the same time. You become a beacon, spreading hope wherever you go and reminding others that change is not just a concept, but a lived reality. When you share your story of how love discovered you in brokenness, this is how you achieve the goal, pulling hearts together. You give others permission to think that love may also find them. Negativity is something that everyone experiences, whether it comes from voices outside of themselves or from voices inside their own heads. The trick is to recognize it for what it is, a fog that obscures the brightness of the truth. When negative ideas occur, learn to confront them by asking yourself whether they are completely true or if there is a more accurate explanation. Hopeful perspective. You have the power to choose which thoughts you nurture. Mind trained to see the good in every situation becomes more creative and resilient in problem solving. Over time, you'll notice that what once felt like an oppressive gloom will disperse more quickly, replaced by the steady light of optimism. And patience, is much more than just waiting. It is a posture of trust in the unseen. It is easy to be patient when results come fast, but true patience shines brightest amid protracted uncertainty. Whether you are waiting for reconciliation in a difficult relationship or waiting for a relationship to mend, patience is a posture of faith. Each day of patience and trust strengthens your character, preparing you to handle the blessings you seek. By the time you receive what you have been waiting for, you will be able to handle whatever comes your way. This could be a relationship, breakthrough in your career, or a resolution to a personal struggle. Patience, when accompanied by hope, is never wasted. Recognize the growth that you experience as a result of the process and cherish it with all your heart. Sometimes the people or habits that are around you can slowly drain your joy and corrode your spirit. Protecting your heart means recognizing these influences and, if necessary, making difficult decisions. This may involve taking a step back. Such decisions may be difficult, particularly when they include people you care about. Keep in mind that you are protecting yourself from harmful connections, reducing the amount of time you spend in unpleasant situations, or changing behaviors that take you away from the person you want to be. You have the ability to love and to live to the fullest by establishing proper boundaries. You give yourself the opportunity to blossom and become someone who can better bless others in the long term. We all have hidden scars, some of which were caused by others, others of which we have inflicted on ourselves by bad choices or actions. Self-criticism, let my love penetrate those vulnerable areas, envision warm light entering the deepest regions of your heart, exposing traumas you've pushed aside or attempted to conceal behind pride. This is not to shame you, to heal you. When you confront these wounds with honesty and openness, if you grant me permission to fix them, the final result will be a spirit that is freer and lighter, no longer burdened by the weight of unresolved suffering. Healing may be a journey, but each stride forward is a testament that hope prevails over sadness. Worship or praise is not simply a simple act about singing songs or uttering certain words. It is a state of heart that chooses gratitude even in difficult times. When you praise in the storm, you shift your focus from the magnitude of your troubles to the magnitude of hope. This does not minimize the severity of the problems that you are facing. Rather, it maximizes the power of faith to endure and prevail. This may seem counterintuitive, but praising in the midst of a storm can usher you into a place of clarity, strength, and peace that is beyond what your mind alone can achieve. Through genuine praise, sorrow is not repressed, transformed, and tears can coexist with a confident hope. Each drop of watering the foundation of deeper trust. As you let go of negativity, embrace forgiveness, and nurture compassion, the environment around you alters. Family members notice that friends are attracted to the newfound serenity in your voice. Recognize that your transformation is never occurring in solitude. In a society where tension and cynicism are often the dominant forces, a person who is at peace with themselves shines out like a beacon of light. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of living in accordance with love. Even strangers may sense a gentle warmth emanating from your presence. Many others will be interested to uncover the source of your tranquility, and you have asked for breakthroughs. Your personal progress has the potential to spark change in the lives of others, often without you ever saying a word. They will observe, and they will feel the true shift. You have asked for wealth, but in order to receive significant benefits, your heart must be prepared to handle them. If a blessing comes too soon, it may be wasted or misinterpreted. For this reason, I work gently on your inner readiness, teaching you responsibility, generosity, and wisdom. When you reflect on situations in your past in which you gained something quickly but lost just as quickly, compare those situations to areas in which you took time to grow and you still retain the fruit of that growth today. This is how you learn the value of proper timing. Each lesson you learn is a building block that is constructing a steady platform for the blessing that you will receive. You must also strengthen your foundation, nourish your soul, pray in earnest, ponder on words of hope, surround yourself with positive influences, and participate in acts of kindness. Patience also includes strengthening your roots like a solid tree that weathers each season. You must also reinforce your foundation, compassion, and those nutrients that help you stand firm. When storms of adversity come with strong roots, you won't be easily toppled. Instead, each tempest will serve to strengthen your resilience, demonstrating the depth of your faith and the reality of the love that sustains you. If you don't have strong roots, you won't be easily toppled. Think of yourself as expendable or inconsequential. But I want you to realize how valuable you really are. You are treasured in a level that goes beyond human compassion. This love does not waver when you are in the air or fade when you are feeling down. It is constant, it is everlasting, and it wraps around you. When you go through life persuaded of your value, fear loses its footing, and you become free to pour forth your heart and soul. Embrace this understanding because it will inspire you to walk with confidence. Embrace every element of who you are, including your eccentricities, your challenges, your achievements, and even your secret doubts. The same steadfast love into other people, every problem may be perceived as a test or a stepping stone. The attitude you pick determines your result. If you approach tests with fear, you may miss the development they provide. Instead, see each test as an opportunity to grow, as an invitation to develop deeper wisdom, patience, or empathy. Keep your eyes open for the lessons that are embedded in every difficulty that you overcome. Overcoming one challenge prepares you for the next. Through this process, you gather insights that shape you into a person who is capable of larger responsibilities and more significant influence with each challenge. You may be carrying guilt over missed opportunities or broken relationships. Perhaps you believe it is too late to mend certain aspects of your life. However, I assure you that restoration is possible. After passing the test, you move forward toward a destiny that includes not only your own fulfillment, but also the ability to guide others. Lost time may be redeemed by purposeful living. Broken relationships can be restored with humble apologies and constant compassion. And dreams that you thought were dead can grow anew in the soil of unflinching hope. Restoration does not necessarily imply that the past can be redeemed. Trust in the potential of redemption, because it is more real than the cynicism that says otherwise. In a society that is motivated by grand successes, it is easy to ignore the fact that things are not reverting to what they were in the past, but rather making them bloom in a new and unexpected manner. There are lesser milestones of growth, but you should never underestimate the impact of little triumphs that are constant over time. For example, defeating a single negative thought, resisting one destructive habit, or offering a moment of grace to someone who has injured you are all examples of minor successes. Insignificant, they are steps on a route that leads to a life of serenity and strength. Enjoy each of these modest victories because they represent the SE of greatness and the building elements of a change that will endure for a long time. Before you realize it, they will aggregate into something that is significant. Holding on to possessions, opportunities, or relationships too tightly can cause anxiety because you fear losing them. Instead, live with open hands, receive what comes with gratitude, and give freely. This is something that you once believed was impossible. But when you embrace the posture of receiving and giving freely, you unlock a cycle of blessing. This technique helps you remember that all good things may be multiplied, particularly when shared in love. And it also helps you release what needs to go with faith and trust that fresh gifts will come in due season. This approach fosters an abundance attitude which liberates you from the grasp of scarcity. Please do not get dismayed if you have attempted to restart your life numerous times, only to fall back into the same patterns. Real change often requires multiple efforts, And each restart has the potential to be more informed than the previous one, enhanced by the lessons you have learned from prior failures. Allow me to stand by you in this process. When you reach the point where you decide that enough is enough, draw on my strength to persevere beyond your initial excitement. Maintain accountability through friends or mentors who genuinely want your success. And most importantly, never forget that each day you wake up is another opportunity to get closer to the vision you have for your life. Maybe you have a need for grand revelations or spectacular signals that affirm that you are on the right road. However, despite the fact that amazing miracles can occur, you should not overlook the subtle marvels that occur in daily life, such as the warm smile of a loved one, the gently wind on a bright day, or the soothing words of a friend. The taste of a meal that you and I have had may individually contain traces of my presence. These apparently little moments weave together the evidence of grace that covers your life. The more you train your eyes to recognize these moments, the more you will learn that the exceptional is often wrapped in the ordinary. When you speak to those who look up to you particularly, it is especially important to select your words carefully, since they have the ability to either boost them up or bring them down. A single nice comment delivered at the precise time may change the course of someone's day or perhaps their whole life. It is important to be careful of how you say about yourself in life. Instead of repeating negative statements such as, "I am useless" or "I can never change," try using words that promote development and potential. This simple adjustment may create an atmosphere that is more nurturing both internally and externally, increasing your resilience and optimism. Despite the fact that the world around you may be tumultuous, wars may erupt, economies may fluctuate, and news of tragedies may overwhelm your head with fear, you are asked to walk in calm that defies the chaos that is occurring in the outside world. This tranquility is not produced from denial, however, from a more profound understanding that you are encircled by a love that is more powerful than any storm. Fill your thoughts with reminders of hope. Surround yourself with people who encourage faith rather than fear, and anchor your heart in the assurance that nothing can separate you from my devotion. Even in the midst of chaos, you can be an anchor for yourself. Seriousness has its place, but you should not ignore laughing. Mark joy is a potent medication for the soul, revitalizing your spirit and restoring perspective when laughter comes up. Seriousness is a strong agent of quiet that embodies the tranquility that our world so badly wants. It is a declaration that you refuse to be enslaved by sadness, and it is a statement of release from your heart. Embrace moments of silliness and laughter. They are gifts that lighten your worries and remind you of the simple pleasures that life has to offer. In such times, you will experience a sense of release. Freedom that is youthful is a demonstration that no matter how old you become, you can still discover wonder in the simplest of pleasures. Sometimes the most difficult words to say are, "I'm sorry." Pride gets in the way, whispering that admitting error is a sign of weakness, yet the act of really apologizing is the most powerful expression of regret. May heal wounds that have been festering for years. Extend this humility, even if you think that your portion of the guilt is minor. This does not imply that you are depreciating yourself. Rather, it indicates that you are valuing the connection and the peace that comes with reconciliation when apologies flow from you. Let me lead you in timing and approach, making sure that your words are sincere and that your actions reflect your objective. Pay attention not just to what you say externally, but also how you talk to yourself in your head. Harmony is restored in a manner that you could never accomplish by passive avoidance. Beliefs such as, I'll never succeed, I'm worthless, or no one cares about me, have a tendency to become self-fulfilling if they are repeated often enough. It is important to confront these beliefs and counter them with the fact that you are competent, that you are deserving of love, and that your presence counts. Affirmations based on the loving reality I have for you should be practiced on a regular basis if you suffer with negative self-talk. Over time, these new narratives will transform your self-concept, leading to better choices and deeper relationships. Doors will open before you, some of which may seem to be too huge or intimidating. If you sense a pull in your heart that indicates that an opportunity matches with your interests and beliefs, go ahead bravely, even if you feel underqualified. Remember that faith is not about having every skill in place. It's about having the ability to believe in something that you believe in. About having faith that what you do not have may be acquired or provided along the road by committing yourself to growth, by investing in learning, and by observing how each step drives you further into the life that has been waiting for you to arrive. The act of practicing generosity is not limited to financial generosity. It also encompasses kindness and generosity of time, support, and a listening ear. As you thread these gifts into the lives of others, you will discover that your own life grows. Your capacity to love will rise, and your viewpoint will transform from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Even a simple act such as sharing will bring about one of these changes. A meal or a note of gratitude can have a ripple effect in ways that you could not have anticipated, touching hearts and sparking hope. Generosity creates community, fosters empathy, and reminds you that the world is bigger than your individual concerns. Your children or the younger people in your life should watch how you handle these concerns. Stress, how you react to disagreements, and how you interact with people you do not know. If they see you turning to love and faith in times of difficulty, it is a lesson that will stick with them longer than any lecture. Demonstrate them that it is possible to be resilient, that kindness is important, and that it is important to demonstrate that you care. They have the opportunity to inherit a heritage of hope that they will bring forward into a world that is in need of light. Spiritual knowledge is more than a collection of laws. It is a connection that is alive and breathing, and it improves every aspect of life. Through your example, they may inherit this legacy, convincing you that you are beyond redemption. Shame is a liar. You are not the sum of your lowest moments or darkest thoughts. You are cherished and have the capacity to learn from your mistakes rather than be crushed by them. Acknowledge your wrongdoings, learn what they have to teach you, and then release. As a result of this, you recover the freedom to walk boldly into a future that is unencumbered by guilt. Modern life often isolates people behind screens and hectic schedules. You flourish when you are a member of a community that is supportive of you and a group of people who are there for you, who rejoice in your happiness and comfort you in your sorrows, seek or gatherings, whether they be in spiritual circles, volunteer organizations, or just a network of loving friends. Express your heart honestly and let others do the same. This mutual exchange of empathy bonds hearts together, producing a safety net that can catch you when life's sorrows threaten to overwhelm you. When you stand together, you reflect the unity and fellowship that your soul wants. Prayer does not need to be difficult or formal. It is just a way of saying, I am sorry. Conversation with me, an expression of the deepest feelings that your heart is capable of expressing. You can speak out loud or write your thoughts in a journal or even sing them in a melody. What matters is sincerity. In prayer, you position yourself to receive insight, reassurance, and the peace that surpasses understanding, even if you are unable to understand what you are saying. If you do not instantly feel a response, have faith that I am listening to you and that your humbly made plea for assistance or direction will never go forgotten. It is not possible for all members of your family or friendships to undergo a transformation overnight. Some disputes may continue or even get more severe before they improve in these situations. In situations like these, it is important to maintain hope while also exercising prudence and respecting the limits that are necessary to maintain your emotional well-being. Additionally, it is important to continue praying for healing, perspective, and the courage to play your role in the process of reconciliation. Your love, patience, and faith may be the nourishing soil that the seeds of change need. Make it a habit to regularly engage in introspection and reflect on your day, your responses, and your emotional state. The seeds of change take root in quiet and bloom when the time is perfect. This is not to wallow in your flaws, but rather to get an understanding of the patterns that define your behavior. Look for areas in which you may improve, such as having more patience when you are pressured, more empathy when you are fatigued, or more bravery when you are fearful. Celebrate the gains you have made. Notice that as you grow more self-aware, regardless of how tiny it may be, you will be better able to negotiate problems with grace and avoid negative cycles from repeating themselves. You have a unique role to play in the world because of the mix of humor, sensitivity, creativity, and the concept of determination has never been before and will never exist again in precisely the same manner. Instead of comparing your path to that of others, you should focus on using your distinctive characteristics to bring love and light to the part of the world that you live. When you embrace yourself completely, you will be able to do this. Become an unstoppable force of goodwill ready to accomplish the goal that only you can achieve. Perhaps the challenges of life have taken away your pleasure. There was a time when you laughed easily, but now you find it difficult to grin. I want to reassure you that joy can be restored. It may begin in a simple way, perhaps in a simple way. A moment of thankfulness or a spark of laughter shared with a friend may fan this spark. You can fan this spark by intentionally concentrating on the gifts in your life, practicing gratitude, and participating in activities that rejuvenate your soul. Joy is not a rejection of grief. Rather, it is a victorious proclamation that pain does exist. It is not always a straight line that progress occurs. Sometimes you will make 3 steps forward and then 1 step back. But you should take heart because you are still going forward. Each obstacle that returns is an opportunity for you to improve. Do not be disheartened if previous challenges resurface as you move forward. chance to put what you've learned into practice. Take a look at how far you've already come. The fact that you are still reading, still looking for, and still wanting for a deeper connection tells volumes about your resiliency and your desire to live a life that is influenced by love and compassion, even if your calendar may be busy. While your obligations are many, I urge you to carve out little pockets of calm moments when you may halt, breathe, and feel that deeper presence guiding you. It is in these silent intervals that solutions often spring to mind and fears lose their power. It is in the silence that you can find peace. Clarity dawns and hope reignites. Do not underestimate these quiet moments. They are places of communion where your soul may reconnect with the love that nourishes all life. Loneliness might sneak in during the darkest hours, deceiving you that no one understands or cares about you. But remember that you are remembered, are never truly alone. Lean into the simple but profound truth that I see and cherish you. Reach out if you can. Send a message to a friend, attend a gathering, or join a support group. Sharing your struggles can break the spell of isolation. And when human connection seems scarce, let this message remind you that you are never truly alone, that you are still surrounded by a higher love that is longing to comfort your weary heart. The impact that you make today extends far beyond your own lifetime. Your children, grandchildren, or even those that you mentor carry pieces of your influence into the future. By cultivating a strong moral and spiritual foundation, you shape a legacy and leave behind a legacy. Your commitment becomes a gift to those who will follow a beacon lighting their path long after you have passed away. Imagine how one act of advice, one genuine discussion, or one constant example of integrity may resonate through generations. This is something that can outlast you. Completed your journey here, I want you to remember the essence of everything that has been shared with you, that you are loved, that you are seen, and that you are called to a life of greater peace and purpose. Embrace these words, allow them to sink into your spirit, and allow them to spark the changes you have been contemplating. Do not place them on a pedestal. Shelf, collect dust instead. Read them again when doubts come back to you and allow them to remind you that hope is always available and that transformation is a daily choice. Even though you might not hear my voice loudly every second, I am still right here, ready to guide you to comfort and to help you transform. I want to rejoice with you in your victories, feeling my pleasure in your hardships, trusting my support in your joy, sharing my love in your sadness, and leaning on my compassion. This communion does not stop with the final word on this page, continues each and every time you make the decision to open your heart. Continue to come back to me day after day, even when words fail and your soul can only sigh, I understand. Be assured that I am always listening. When we part ways with this written discussion, take a minute to regain your heart. Who you actually are. You are not defined by worldly measurements of achievement or by the wounds of your past. You are immensely valued, forgiven, and welcomed by a love that beyond all understanding remind yourself of this fact anytime you feel like you are unimportant or when you are feeling like others are not paying attention to you. Plagued by regrets, let it motivate you to walk with self-assurance, to behave compassionately, and to say words that bring life. You carry a radiance inside you the world so urgently needs and let it shine. Consider this your daily reminder. You are invited to carry these words with you tomorrow when you open your eyes to greet the morning light. Allow them to shape your first thoughts. I am loved, I am guided, and I have a hopeful future. Walk into your responsibilities anchored in that conviction, and if at any point the stresses of life attempt to crowd out your thoughts, remember that you are loved, guided, and have a hopeful future. Your peace, halt, breathe, utter a simple prayer, and help me remember the reality of who I am. Allow calm to return and tell me that you are a part of something that is far more than what you can see with your eyes when the night comes and the stars come out. Your bed may be a place of rest, not just physically, but also spiritually. Let your last thoughts be ones of appreciation and trust, even if the day was difficult. Let your anxieties drift away. Shadows deepen. Envelop yourself in the security of these assurances. Your bed can be a place of peace. I can conclude this message by imagining them as paper boats carrying your problems down a gentle stream and then disappearing into the horizon of my faithful air sleep. I will do this with the knowledge that I am watching over you, that every breath you take is precious, and that every new morning has the potential to bring about beautiful surprises. I am pouring forth a blessing over your life, and I pray that your intellect will be filled with clarity, your heart will be filled with bravery, and your soul will be filled with unshakable serenity. May your house radiate warmth, your relationships develop in understanding, and your everyday duties be addressed with a sense of gratitude. Hold on to your faith, because faith is the force that bridges your aspirations to reality. May you find laughter in unexpected places, finding solace in the arms of loyal friends, and finding meaning in every difficulty that comes your way. Above all, may you never forget that you are dearly valued and forever supported. Even if your faith is as little as a tiny seed at the beginning, you should cultivate it, feed it with truth, and water it with patience. Without faith, you run the danger of drowning in despair. With faith, you discover the power to swim in the darkest waters, always finding a coastline of promise in the distance. Imagine this moment as an embrace that is a spiritual hug that covers you in warmth. Allow it to develop into a magnificent tree that provides shade to many people. As you do this, you will see how faith alters not just your own life, but also the lives of everyone who comes into contact with you. You can almost feel the steady rhythm of a heart beating with unconditional love for you. This love has no limitations, neither time nor place. As you walk away from this written encounter, carry with you the feeling of security that comes from being so near to someone. Assurance that the embrace will continue to be with you long after you have finished reading this. You will continue to be held, guided, and loved for all eternity. Walk forward from this point forward in a glow of newfound self-assurance. Speak your truths with kindness and compassion. Share what you have learned not in a spirit of condemnation, but in a spirit of invitation. Your journey has equipped you. Congratulations. Be a lighthouse that testifies to the fact of renewal by demonstrating by your actions, your patience, and your unshakable optimism that a changed life is achievable. This is how you respect the love that has been so present in your life. Having insights that others need to hear, do not conceal them. Freely offered to you before we leave ways, I put an everlasting peace in your heart. This serenity will stay. even if you may briefly lose sight of it if fear returns. But you should know that it is always within reach. When you feel frazzled or undone, remember this moment and recollect it. The promise of peace that endures through every difficulty. Cling to it. Allow it to calm your worries. Let it serve as your guide when the world around you seems chaotic. This blessing reaches beyond you. May every member of your family experience the ripple effect of the hope and the tranquility that it brings. You should allow them notice a calmer tone in your voice, a kinder light in your eyes, and a deeper peace in your presence via you. Allow them to experience the stirrings of something divine, pushing them to open their hearts. Your home's potential to become a beacon for others is something that you should consider. Neighbors, friends, and loved ones, a place where grace